The restaurant was nearly empty when he walked in, a man whose presence could silence a room without a single word. His suit was crisp, his watch gleaming, his eyes dark with something far deeper than wealth could hide. People whispered his name under their breath, Ethan Cole, the billionaire everyone knew but no one really knew. But today, he didn't look like the man on magazine covers or business articles. He looked like a father who'd lost something he couldn't buy back. "Excuse me," he said quietly to the waitress behind the counter. "Do you have a table away from the crowd?" The waitress, a woman named Lila, nodded and led him toward the back, where soft jazz played under the hum of the coffee machine. She noticed the little boy holding his father's hand. His eyes were wide and curious, but he didn't say a word. He looked about 6 or 7, beautiful but strangely distant, like he was watching the world through glass. As Lila placed the menus on the table, the boy didn't glance at her. He just clutched a small wooden car and stared at it, spinning its wheels over and over. Ethan sat down, his face drawn tight, exhaustion heavy in every line. "He doesn't speak," Ethan said suddenly, catching Lila's curious glance. "Hasn't spoken since his mother died." Her heart tugged painfully. "I'm sorry," she whispered. Ethan nodded, forcing a small smile. "I've tried everything. Therapists. Specialists. Schools. Nothing works." His voice cracked slightly as he ran a hand through his hair. "He just doesn't talk." Lila smiled softly at the boy, crouching to his level. "Hey there," she said gently. "I'm Lila. That's a cool car you've got." He didn't respond, just looked at her briefly, then away. She stood, clearing her throat. "I'll get your order started." But before she could walk away, Ethan said something that made her freeze mid-step. "If you can make my son speak," he said, his voice trembling between hope and desperation, "I'll buy you this restaurant." She turned slowly, eyes wide. "You can't be serious." "I've never been more serious in my life," he said. "Money means nothing right now. My son's voice does." Lila's heart pounded. She wasn't a therapist. She wasn't anyone special. Just a woman trying to survive on tips. But something in the boy's eyes, that lonely, trapped look, broke her. "All right," she said softly. "I'll try." The next day, Ethan and his son came again. And again the day after. Each time, Lila would greet the boy with the same warm smile and the same gentle tone. She never pressured him. Never asked him to speak. Instead, she simply talked, about the colors she loved, the songs she hummed while cleaning, the stars she counted on her walk home. The boy listened, silent but attentive. Sometimes, his eyes followed her movements. Sometimes, his small hands mimicked the way she stacked cups or wiped tables. It was progress, subtle, but real. Ethan watched quietly, torn between hope and heartbreak. Every evening, he stayed long after closing, watching Lila sweep the floor as his son played in the corner. One night, as the restaurant lights dimmed, he spoke. "Why are you doing this?" She smiled faintly. "Because someone once helped me when I stopped talking." Ethan's head snapped up. "My mom left when I was 10, Lila said softly. "I stopped speaking for nearly a year. Everyone thought I was broken. Except one person, my grandmother. She never begged me to talk. She just kept being there. Every day. Until one morning, I said, 'Good morning, Grandma.' That was all it took." Ethan's throat tightened. "You think my son can do that?" "I don't think, Mr. Cole," she said, glancing at the boy who was now humming softly to himself. "I believe he can." Weeks passed. Rainy mornings. Sunny afternoons. Every day, the same routine, Lila's chatter, the boy's silence, Ethan's quiet observation. But one evening, something shifted. The boy, Noah, was sitting at the counter, coloring with crayons. Lila was behind the register, humming the same lullaby she'd sung the night before. A song about stars that don't fall but shine quietly in the dark. Noah suddenly dropped his crayon. His small voice trembled through the silence. Star, he whispered. Lila froze. Ethan's cup fell from his hand, shattering on the floor. What did you say? Lila asked, tears already burning in her eyes. Star, he said again, louder this time, looking at her. Then at his father. Mommy liked stars. Ethan stumbled forward, his heart pounding. Noah, he breathed. You spoke. You spoke. He dropped to his knees, pulling his son into his arms, crying openly for the first time in years. Lila turned away, wiping her tears with the corner of her apron, her chest aching with joy. The next morning, the restaurant doors were locked for the first time in years. A new sign hung outside, closed for renovation, new owner coming soon. When Lila returned the following week, confused and worried, she found Ethan waiting for her at the entrance, holding 2 sets of keys. This place, he said quietly, belongs to you now. A promise is a promise. She shook her head, tears streaming down. I didn't do this for that. I know, he said. That's why you deserve it. Noah ran up to her, smiling shyly. Miss Lila, he said, holding out a drawing, her and him standing under a sky full of stars. I talk now. She knelt down, hugging him tight. Yes, sweetheart, she whispered, her voice breaking. You do. And you sound perfect. Ethan looked at them, the woman who healed his son's silence, the boy who found his voice through kindness, and felt something he hadn't in years. Peace.as the sun set over the small restaurant, its golden light filling the room. Lila whispered to herself, sometimes, it doesn't take money to change a life. Just love that doesn't give up. And from that day on, the restaurant wasn't just a place to eat, it was a place where broken hearts found their voices again, because kindness, after all, is the only thing truly worth owning.